Good morning, everyone. I'm glad you could join me today. It's Sunday, March 8th, 2020, and I am live in the bitch barn. Today I am going to, this is Esmeralda. She likes to get in the middle of things. Today I am going to play with my new Gemini dies that I just picked up on Craft Day. So let's go there and we'll play around with those and see what we can do. I think it's this one. Okay, so I got these gatefold. That's what the word that eluded me a moment ago was. These gatefold Edgeable dies. Cake. Kiss. This one's Love. This one I've opened up. Love. And Thanks. And it appears that each die comes with a little stamp or two. This one says with lots of I and you. So I'm going to play around with this Love one. I've got to come up with a birthday card for my son. He's going to be the big 33 this year. Which I just realized last night that he was going to be 33 and not 32. So, anyway, I have my full-size Gemini right next to me. And I have this should be 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and it is. This is the one I wanted to play with, but instead of doing it in a gatefold, I wanted to see if I could cut those words out together on a piece of paper, a couple of pieces of paper, and layer it up. I want to do a shamrock with a birthday cake, and I think love. Since I'm kind of new to the card making game, I don't have a lot of stamps and dies. My selection is limited in that aspect, so I do a lot of digital stamps, printing from the computer, and using my Cricut machine for things. But I think I'm pretty good. I'm learning the tips and tricks and things, and you know, the best way to do any of this is by playing. Another challenge that I have is that I have a mess of boys. So a lot of my cards have to be geared towards boys. Masculine, I guess you'd say. And I think I can get a love out of there. as you can see, I save every last bit of paper. I don't leave anything to waste. In fact, all of these I will save because I think they could turn out to be quite a lovely stencil. So let me cut this piece out. And I think I can cut it out from here. The Gemini is supposed to be able to cut through multiple layers of paper, fabric, what have you, at a time. So, is that true with these dies as well? Let's find out. I hope the lighting and everything for this video is okay. If it doesn't turn out great, I will definitely adjust the lighting for the next video. Let me set this out of the way. Set this out of the way. Got to get to my plates here. All my bits are just everywhere. And I have quite a large work surface, except right now I have my touch screen computer and a tripod so that I can film this. How do I want to do this? We know these need to be taped together onto our pieces of paper. So, do it like this. Yeah, I am when it comes to papers and such, I try to be as thrifty as possible. Don't know if that's good or bad, but it's what I do. Okay, so I am going to assume that when these are done on the gatefolds, they are put on so that these tops and bottoms line up, and I'm going to do my best with that. I've got, just so everyone knows from the get-go, I am a huge Crafter's Companion fan. I think Miss Sarah Davies is absolutely the best demonstrator and has she's just genius when it comes to imagination and bringing products to life and showing us how to use them. Craig and the others are good, but Sarah is just the best in my opinion. And or Sarah, I'm sorry Sarah if you're watching. She's just the best. So I really love her company, her products, and So I tend to have a lot of her products that I use. So yeah. Alright, I've got my sandwich all made up. And let's listen to some crunching. See how that came out. Has anyone else tried these gatefold dies on more than one piece of paper at a time? Let's leave that down until we find out if it went through. It did. It did go through. So, funny thing, I wear eyeglasses, as you all noticed in the beginning video, but I can't see up close to save my life, so I'm always taking them off and putting them on. Let's see. It's just not going to come off of there. And I do not like leaving tape on my dies. I find I forget it's there if I don't take it off right away. And that's never good. Look at this lovely cut. Look at these small bits, you know. I can use these for something. I think it came out quite lovely. I just love the way this, oh look, it came out in one piece. I was wondering if it would do that because I'm not sure you can see this, but right here where she's got the design, or the die designed so that when it's cut on either side of the card, they'll latch together if you want them to. Right here, there's just enough space to keep the entire word intact. Love that. Love, love, love. Alright, so we got 1, 2, and 3. Oh, I love these center bits. Let's get these out. Alright, we've got 1, 2, 3 loves, 1 cut. How awesome is that? And bonus is, look at this. We have the beginning of a beautiful flower. Oh, you know I'm going to be saving these pieces and making flowers out of them. In fact, I may have to cut some more words out just to get those to make a flower on this card. So, moving on, let's see about snipping this off. I'm sorry, I'm not in the... I'm going to go just right here and kind of catch the angle of the O and snip that off. And down here, just the angle of the V. There. I'm going to do the same for the others. Try to stay in. I need to move this up. Let's see. And stay conscious of the fact that if I'm over my mat, you can see. How's that? I hope you will like and subscribe my video and join me over in my Facebook group. I actually have 2 Facebook groups. My newest Facebook group is called The Bitch Barn, a Crafty Place. And my other Facebook group is called Laugh and Craft. I started that group Christmas of 2018. Where's my Pokey? Yeah. Christmas of 2018 is what got me started in all of these. Oh, look at this. I must have had a bit stuck to my plate. And it made an impression on that. Not to worry, because we are going to be layering these up like so. And you know, I think I'm going to try it the opposite way. See how that looks. Layer it up. What do we think? Do you like it like this? Or do we like it like this? Let's see. We want it just barely off. Yes. I think I like it like this better. Alright, let's put that down there. So, here's our card. And I think before we even get to the card, let's put this aside. We know this works. Wonderful discovery. Let me get a bit of coffee. Let's get a piece of paper. I know I brought paper out here. Here it is. Let's get a piece of paper. Make a gatefold card. Oh! Guess what? Where are they? You know what I lost? The instructions. I read them before I started. Didn't read them on camera. What's awesome? Gosh, I love Sarah Davies. What's awesome is in each set is this exclusive extra product. She gives us the instructions right down to the size to score the card on to make an A4, a UK A4 sized card, which is 6x4, or a US A2 sized card. How awesome is that? So, I am going to follow along to what she says on there. Now, we all know here in the US, making our A2 size card, we use an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, and we cut that paper in half at the 5 1/4 mark. This isn't, I don't have quite enough space under the, there we go. I got my stamping platform and Gemini plates over here, so it's bitten in the way. Alright, so we need to cut this. Do it up like this. Yeah. Cut this at 5 1/2. Right there. Who else does? Oh, good Lord. Do you see what I did? I do this all the time because my hands get ahead of my brain. I did not cut this in half the way I would normally cut it in half. So instead of getting two A2 cards out of my 11.5 sheet of paper, I'm only going to get one. And it is going to be 5 1/2, but this is going to be way wrong. This is going to end up being a 5 1/2 by 5 1/2. I'm going to start over. An 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper will make two A2 size cards, provided you cut them properly in half. So we can cut it in half this way at 4 1/4, and it would fold this way. Or we can cut it this way at 5 1/2, and it'll fold this way. Either way, we get two cards out of one sheet of paper. It's a good thing I'm a paper hoarder and a scrap hoarder, because my mistake previously is rectified. Since I have my cutter out here, I'll just use it to make my score. No, I can't use it to make my scores because the scores are on different planes. Now I just need to find my scoring tool, which is here in this mess that I call a workspace. Here somewhere. That's my pokey tool, my bone folder. Do, 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 do. We've lost it. So I'm going to have to use the... Will my bone folder work? Oh man, I hope I didn't lose that. It's my favorite. I have the super small, super tiny what are they called? Those things. I like using the extra small one of these as my scoring tool. And I had it up here. And wouldn't you know, I can't find it. This scoreboard here. It's gotta be right here somewhere. Crikey! Seriously, people. Alright. So, her instructions say to score at 1 3/4. That's never going to work. Score at 1 3/4. That's why I don't like this scoring tool. I feel it goes too deep and tends to move the paper. 3 5/8. Something I like about this scoreboard is, let's see, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes, this blue tick mark. This is a Martha Stewart scoreboard. And the 8th marks are highlighted in blue, so it's really easy to figure out what the 8ths are. 7 3/8. 7, 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Something's not right because I don't have a 9 1/4. I didn't cut it on the... Oh! And 9. Trim a piece of 11 by 8.5 cardstock to measure 11 by 5 1/4. What do we have here? 11 by 5 1/2. So I need to trim this to 5 1/4. See, unlike a lot of YouTubers out there that will take these mistakes out of their videos and you'll never see them. Oh, you're going to see every single mistake I make. Because that's how we learn. By making mistakes and sharing them together. Alright, so this needs to be 5 1/4. Get that lined up right there on our 5 1/4 mark. Bring it down. Slice it off. See this little 1/4 inch of a piece? That will be used. Trust me. I'll do a video one of these times which is all about using those scraps up. Alright, let's try this scoring yet again. Alright. Her instructions say, turn the piece of trimmed card so that the long side is on the horizontal and score vertically at 1 3/4. At 3 5/8. 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's this one. I always do that because I'm not comfortable with just pointing in and saying, no, there it is. 3 5/8, 7 3/8, 1, 2, 3. And 9 1/4. Alright. So there are our score marks per Miss Sarah Davies' instruction. Let's put the scoreboard away. Okay. So our next is place the dies vertically on the first and last score lines. Alright, so we need our bottom plate. And I try to flip and turn these around on the regular. Alright. First score line on the score line A. Second score line. Just like that. And glasses up. Tape out. It is right on the score line. And I learned from watching Miss Sarah to always use the low tack tape on the part of the cardstock that's being cut away. For the life of me, when I first did my first couple of die cuts, I could not figure out what everyone's trick was. How did they get the tape off of their card without destroying their card? Well, they did not put the tape on that part of the card. They put it on the part of the card that was going away. Okay. Secure the dies in place using low tack tape. Attach the appropriate cutting plates and feed through your die cutting machine. Since our die cutting machine is the Gemini, that's where we will feed it. So, let's stack our sandwich. I about have this sandwich memorized, finally. For the longest time, every time I made this sandwich, I was looking at the instruction booklet. How do I do this? Okay, feeding. Okay, let's see what we have. Some more petals. Don't want to lose the petals we have. Just going to keep them down there. Okay. So, how about that? I really don't want to waste a whole piece of scrap. Let's just take that care. If nothing else, a scrap piece of paper, especially white, is especially useful for testing out your marker, colored pencil, paint colors before you use it on your actual image. and you're not wasting a piece of perfectly good paper. Okay, where'd I put the other one? Right here. Really don't want to lose our dies. Put them up there. Okay, so it looks like, see, right here, there's a slight indentation on the paper. You see it much better over here where the score line was, and I didn't have the die just so. Okay, now I don't like the interlocking. So I guess that means I don't like this. I was concentrating. You know, old people brain. We do that. We have to hold our mouth just right. Turn our mouth off. Even sometimes our ears, so that we can concentrate on what we were doing. It's just the way of it. Okay. Scored, folded. Let's see if we can get this one. This did not cut on the score line. So I'm just back like so. You see where it didn't cut off is where I'm having the trouble at. So what I'm going to have to do is take scissors. Cut right at that score line. I don't know if that was a placement issue or a die cutting issue. I just don't know. Let's see if we can. But we're all learning together, aren't we? Oh, it looks like the sun coming through my window is kind of affecting the light. I'll have to figure out a way to fix that. Alright, so there's our love and gatefold. My gatefold is kind of messed up. Does this have to be trimmed off? I'm gonna have to trim this side off as well. like to do is, rather than having it open like this, flopping it all around, I'm going to glue these down and then bring my love in and put that over, layer it up on the one side so that when it opens, what do you think? Opens like that on one side. Or I could put those on the inside. I think I'm still going to put a color out here. I just feel like it needs some color out here. Maybe like that. Ooh. This is just, yeah, it definitely is not the die. It is the person folding the paper. You see, it's just so close because I must have my folds off somewhere, unless I placed the dies badly when I did the die cut. It's definitely going to take some practice, but overall I really like these gatefold dies. I like that you can cut an entire word together like this, or we can do it like this, or you can do it so that it turns around like this. And wait a moment, goes up like this and locks into place like that. But I'm afraid, I know if I were to give a card like this to, say, one of my sons, and it was locking like that, they wouldn't think to unlock it. They would just rip it apart and they'd have a VE flying somewhere or an LO flying somewhere. So I will definitely be securing them backwards like that, or using them as a whole word like this. But that's it, everyone. I know this wasn't the best video that you've ever watched on YouTube, but it's definitely going to be at the top of the charts in honesty. I know the lighting was bad at times. I got out of the picture a few times. Not sure if you could hear me very well, but it's definitely the kind of video that I kind of like to watch, where, you know, the person's doing it real time, making mistakes, owning those mistakes, overcoming those mistakes. Next time I hope to show you some more, and we'll learn together. Thank you. Bye.